As you can see, I've moved house, but that's not the most exciting thing that happened to me this week. No, that was the announcement that Valorant is being released on June 2nd. So I thought, what better to do than give you guys my initial impressions of the Valorant beta. Now keep in mind, this is based on the gameplay from the beta, so when the full game does release, it could very much differ. Now for those of you who don't know, Valorant is a new IP from Riot Games, the same people who made League of Legends. It's a 5v5 character-based tactical shooter that allows you to choose from a number of different agents, all of whom have different playstyles and abilities. The goal is to kill the enemy team or detonate/defuse a bomb, depending on which side you spawn. Since getting into the beta, I've put a decent amount of time into the game, so let's head upstairs and get to my initial impressions of Valorant. Valorant has been compared to games like Rainbow Six Siege and Counter-Strike, as it heavily depends on communication and gun skill to successfully win matches. The match structure, buy-in economy and shooting style does very much resemble Counter-Strike. However, with the addition of Overwatch-esque abilities and art style, the game becomes more unique. In some moments, Valorant can be a very hard and annoying game, but in others, an interesting and super fun experience. With that being said, let's take a look at how I found the game as a whole.
One enemy remaining.
As I mentioned before, communication is key, not only in reference to trying to win, but also having the most fun. The only person I knew when playing was my brother, but by far the most interesting games we had were when other random people were using their microphones. Win or lose, just hearing callouts and little jokes here and there really added to my overall experience. Even if you don't want to speak, the text chat still allows you to join in the fun. Whether you're strategizing with your friends or chatting with people you've just met, the game becomes infinitely more entertaining and makes you feel like a professional. However, if you find yourself matched with no one talking, the game may take a different turn. This is even worse if you are clearly matched up against a 5-stack, all of whom are communicating with one another. For the full release, I'd love to see a matchmaking feature which queues you against a similar sized party. For example, if you and a friend are playing, you will only be matched with people in parties of 2 or less. This would avoid groups of 5, all with mics, steamrolling through people who solo queue.
Oh, you ain't coming back.
One enemy remaining.
When you first start, the shooting can be very difficult to work out and get to grips with. After spraying a few shots, the bullets will start flying everywhere other than on target. The less you move as you shoot, the more accurate you are. The goal is to sort of stop, crouch and shoot. I found that as I improved, I began to enjoy the shooting style more, and it was a nice change of pace from twitch shooting which most games seem to have adopted these days. Working together to shoot as a team and improving your own accuracy is a very rewarding experience.
Go! Sit down. Put down.
In addition to the shooting, the agents really offer a different flavour to what would just be a basic shooter. There are around 10 agents to choose from and each have 4 unique abilities. Messing around with each character is really enjoyable and on a base level allows you to have different experiences with each agent until you find your favourite. On a more advanced level, there is a plethora of different team compositions that can be created, which will sure keep you and your friends testing and debating the most meta setup the game has to offer.
Sorry, bro.
One of the bigger issues I found when playing the game was the length of matches. The games range from a minimum of 13 rounds all the way to 25. I think my average match length is probably around 40 plus minutes. I've heard that this is similar to games of this style, and I definitely think it works well for ranked matches. However, in unranked, I feel it would benefit from a reduction in rounds, especially for those who may only have an hour to play. I found that if we were losing badly, I'd end up just kinda waiting for the game to end rather than try hard to win. The game will definitely have a hardcore, loyal fan base when the game launches. However, I'm not entirely sure how big that player base will be. I feel the game isn't quite as hardcore competitive as something like Counter-Strike, so I don't see it pulling over a big number from that scene. But it also isn't as broadly appealing as something like Overwatch, so I don't see it bringing over that crowd. So who is it for? Well, there will definitely be an audience for Valorant, and to me it will most likely be those who like to dabble in competitive shooters but don't have the time to invest in something like CSGO. This is due to the added abilities of each character, which takes away from the super serious shooter style, which is perfect for the game. So to conclude, while I did find myself getting frustrated, I also found myself wanting to play just one more game. The length of each match is way too long in my opinion, especially if it goes 13 rounds to 12. However, the communication aspect of the game, especially if you have a full team of friends, really adds to the experience. I still don't know if I will be booting this game up when it launches, but from what I have played, I did very much enjoy being terrible at it. And there you have it, my initial impressions of Valorant. The beta has just ended, but the game's releasing on June 2nd, so you won't have to wait too long to play it yourself. I'll be in the comment section down below, so let me know what you thought about the game. And as always, thanks for watching.